Good morning. Rise in freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show, and that's on the 4 Liberty Network, baby. Happy Inauguration Day. The left is on the retreat, and Donald Trump is promising a new era, a revolution of common sense in his inaugural address. Many of the excerpts of his speech were shared with the Wall Street Journal. I've got it pulled up for you today. We're going to go through that as well as many of the clips from last night. The parties were going on all weekend. We're so glad and thankful to see Bucks Nasty, LW78, Amy, J. E's, my smoking hot redheaded libertarian wife, Stephanie, Latrell, L-Dubs, Quest Fanning. He's going on the AP DC Liberty Tour. He signed up. What's up, baby, for Liberty? Nathan here in the chat as well. T-Mill22. All of our friends of Liberty, Kermode, Barry, Andy Opperman, we're all hanging out this morning. Good morning, pineapples. It's cold outside.
Looking very good, very nice. Good morning, pineapple. Looking very good, very nice.
Car Donator over on YouTube says, Argentinian cheers from Italy. Congratulations for coming back to your roots. All the best. Go Trump, go Malay. Hell yes. A golden age of prosperity. North America, South America. Who needs the East? Who needs China? We might like a little Japan, though. Things are kind of nice over there. What do you say? Japan can stay. China's got to go. Russia, go. Derek Mollier, good morning, good morning. Happy Inauguration Day. We've got a lot to talk about today. But some breaking news. President Joe Biden has pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, and members of the House committee that investigated the January 6 attacks on the Capitol. One last major act from the Biden crime family to cover up for their partners in crime. The decision by Biden comes after Donald Trump warned of an enemies list filled with those who have crossed him politically or sought to hold him accountable for his attempt to overturn his 2020 election loss and his role in storming the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, writes the Associated Press. Don't you just love how they word things? Trump has selected cabinet nominees who backed his election lies, writes the Associated Press. Oh my God, I just love it. It's the left is so salty today. What's funny is that the whole we're going to punish our enemies thing, that just seemed to me, and no offense to anybody who believed it, but that just always seemed to me like that was what you tell people in order to get elected, because at least we all remember Hillary Clinton, because you'd be in jail. Oh, we're going to lock her up. But then we never really tried to lock her up, right? I always kind of think of we're going to lock up our political opponents. That's kind of what you just tell people in order to get elected and get across the finish line. And there's a lot of good that the incoming Trump administration is going to do. Here's the thing. I'm used to 0% liking what I'm seeing from the administration, Republican, Democrat, or what have you. And the fact that I like 33.33% of what I'm seeing from the Trump administration is honestly, for me, that's a big win. When you're used to 0, you take what you can get. President-elect Donald Trump will call for a revolution of common sense during his inaugural address, according to prepared remarks, as he caps a historic comeback and embarks on an agenda that includes mass deportations, steep tariffs, and slashing the size of the federal government. Yeah, some of that sounds pretty good. Good morning, pineapples. Trump's speech today will say, I return to the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success. A tide of change is sweeping the country, Trump is expected to say today. My message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage, vigor, and the vitality of history's greatest civilization. I like that. Them's good words. Sure do have a pretty mouth, boy. Good morning, Jose MMA, Mongoose 87, Real Hunter Human, Steffi for Liberty hanging out with us, letting us know who's the real OG. Jose MMA became a monthly supporter of the Wake Up America show, and you should too. The 4 Liberty Network. It's 3 of us, yes. We're glad to have all of our friends here on the Wake Up America show. Real Hunter Human says he's banned from X. That's sad. Stephanie has been making phone calls to many of you, so if you see a phone call coming in from like Michigan or Missouri, That might be me or Steffi, so keep an eye out for that. And don't forget today, if we unlock the bonus content, you get to watch a little mini documentary instead of commercials when we go to our break, because I go to breaks so that I can get on our guests like John Miltimore. He'll be joining us today at 8 a.m. Central. The TikTok psy-op. TikTok shut down for 24 hours in what looks to me to be a whole planned attack, meaning a joint op between U.S. and Chinese communists to pretend as if the app was going to go down when in reality they didn't have to do so. TikTok and their supporters in the U.S. government shut down the app in what just appears to be a threat to get people angry. And boy, were people angry. One teenager apparently set his local congressman's office on fire, which I'm supposed to pretend is a terrible tragedy. And it is. It is a terrible tragedy. Yes, we here at the Wake Up America show would never celebrate such a thing. The left, of course, can celebrate the murder of a peaceful, mild-mannered insurance salesman, but if you dare suggest that the government ever have done to them what they do to us every single day and burning down our houses, metaphorically speaking, well, then I'm sorry. We can't allow that. We can't allow that. Luigi Mangione, oh yes, kill the CEOs. Am I laying it on pretty thick right there? One of the more exciting things about the weekend was to watch. The more exciting things about the weekend was to watch Javier Milei's triumphant reentry into Washington, D.C. and his attendance at many of the parties over the weekend, embraced as one of us. And he is one of us. Actually, Argentines were angry at me this weekend when I posted that. I said that Javier Milei is one of us, and then Javier Milei retweeted it to his millions of followers, and everybody in the Argentines, they were happy with me. They weren't too angry, but they were all reminding me with memes and with comments that, no, you are one of us, because Javier Milei is our president, not your president. I know. Now, while a combative Donald Trump in 2017's lamented what he called American carnage, his speech has been designed to be more optimistic today. People familiar with the drafting are saying, though Trump is known to veer off of script. At the same time, the 47th president is expected to dispense with some of the lofty rhetoric of his predecessors and describe in blunt terms what he views as the most pressing national problems and his solutions for them. Trump is expected to sign several executive orders at the U.S. Capitol following his swearing in, part of a big flurry of day one action. Also, we are hearing reports that there is a list of January 6ers names set for pardons that are sitting on the White House desk right now, ready for President Trump to sign. And you love to see it. You love to see it. But what about the outgoing president of the United States? Apparently, he's not going anywhere. Actually, you are, you old decrepit bastard, says Johnny Z. You are going somewhere. Floby Tenderson says, Lord, I see what you've done for others in Argentina, and I would like a Javier Milei myself. The president gave a sneak preview for what he's going to do on day one. Oh boy. Some people are saying no sound on the auto clips, guys. Sorry about that. I've sometimes, but you do get these sounds, I imagine. You idiot. Sorry, guys. Give me just 1 second. I know you guys you're panicking. This is why I monitor the chat. Home audio. Na-na-na-na. Play the Now, how's this?
You're going to see something tomorrow. You're going to see executive orders that are going to make you extremely happy. Lots of them. Lots of them. We have to set our country on the proper course. By the time the sun sets tomorrow evening, the invasion of our borders will have come to a halt, and all the illegal border trespassers will in some form or another be on their way back home. You're going to see something tomorrow.
Honestly, you know what? Sounds good. I like the optimism here. But that's not all we're going to be seeing. Apparently, some secrets might be coming soon.
As a first step toward restoring transparency and accountability to government, we will also reverse the overclassification of government documents, and in the coming days, we are going to make public remaining records relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy, as well as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and other topics of great public interest. It's all going to be released, Uncle Sam.
Do you think that people are going to be really disappointed to find out that it wasn't the Jews that killed John F. Kennedy? They're actually going to realize that it was those Italians. You know, people keep talking about the Jewish conspiracy to control the world. But you know what? I see people eating pasta every day. You know how often I see people eating bagels out here in Jefferson City? Not very often. But boy, every single corner has a pizza joint. People don't know, man. The Italians, they're everywhere and they're taking over. Grazie, molto bene. Have you ever heard of the Italian mafia? Cosa Nostra, muerde, merde. Well, good morning. Welcome to Wake Up America show. Joni Rankin, Real Hunter Human, Floby Tenderson, Quest Fanning, John Rail in the chat. What's up, guys? Those Italians coming over here and taking our pasta jobs. Donald Trump set to give his inaugural address today at noon. Talking about one of the biggest questions people are talking about over the weekend, the Department of Government efficiency. The rumors are that Vivek Ramaswamy is no longer associated with the Department of Government efficiency, although Donald Trump made some remarks that would appear to confirm that he is still a part of the Department of Government efficiency. There's just all these rumors swirling about Vivek Ramaswamy over the weekend and what role he might play in the incoming administration, if he might be actually running for governor of Ohio, which, while I think would be a good thing, I actually think, you know, working at the Department of Government Efficiency would be more aligned with the kind of thing I expected to see from him. However, I mean, the thing that I don't like about him running for the governor of Ohio is I'm selfish. I want him working on national issues because then those things affect me. You know what I'm saying? Those things affect me because I'm selfish. I want to see tax cuts and I want to see more efficient government. Donald Trump talking about Doge and Elon Musk over the weekend.
We're going to also slash something else, the waste in our bloated federal bureaucracy.
Yeah.
We will create the new Department of Government Efficiency, headed by a gentleman named Elon Musk, who's here someplace. I don't know where the hell he is. He's here someplace. Come here, Elon. Did you see his rocket yesterday? It was captured.
Oh, I saw his rocket yesterday.
And X is with him. X. Come on, Elon. Say a couple of words.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Sorry, little X just followed me on the stage here. He's a very enthusiastic supporter, as you can see. Woo! Yeah.
Can you imagine that little kid and what it must feel like to be in his situation, to be that little child like there having everybody screaming for you? It must be amazing.
So we're looking forward to making a lot of changes, and you know this victory is the start, really. What matters going forward is to actually make significant changes, cement those changes, and set the foundation for America to be strong for a century, for centuries.
I just want to remind people who might be willing to criticize Elon Musk for how he speaks there that you can be an absolutely brilliant mind and not be a great public speaker. As a matter of fact, Thomas Jefferson was known for being a genius and a great writer, but he was unable to give impassioned speeches in the way that other people can extemporaneously.
Forever. So, and make America great again.
Again. No, don't make America great again. Make America great again. Again.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Thank you for the shadow president speaks, as Amy J used. Thank you, yes. We were talking this morning about Joe Biden exiting stage left, and because for whatever reason, because I was not playing the clip audio, people weren't able to hear Joe Biden saying apparently he's not going anywhere. Not that he's not leaving the White House, but just that he's still going to be a fixture of public life. I don't know. Well, Speaker Mike Johnson doesn't think so. Thinks he's going into the twilight of his life.
I do stand by it, and I say this without any personal animus at all. I mean, in some ways, I actually kind of feel sorry for Joe Biden. I mean, he's in the twilight years of his life. He is not, obviously, has not been in charge for some time. And I know this by personal observation, and now the whole world knows it. And it's been very, very concerning to me over the last, year and a half since I've had this position.
Can you tell us a story when you say personal observation? What kind
well,
of
I mean,
thing did you see?
That's Barry Weiss.
Public now because the Wall Street Journal got it and put it on the front page. But January a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, I had been asked. I became Speaker in October 2023, and there were all sorts of big national security concerns and everything going on. And I started requesting a meeting with the president because I'm kind of old school. I'm a constitutional law guy. Speaker of the House should be able to talk to the president, especially in times of great national interest and calamity. But they wouldn't let me meet with him, and his staff kept giving me excuses. This went on for like 8 or 9 weeks. I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, he doesn't have time. What are you talking about? I'm second in line of the presidency. He has time. I need to talk to him. We had, I can't say the classified parts, but we had some big national concerns at the time that I was losing sleep over. Finally, I just went to the Hill press corps and I said, the president is not being allowed to meet with the speaker. There's a problem. So they started putting pressure on him. Long story short, they finally relented. They invited me to the White House. I show up and I realize it's actually an ambush because it's not just me and the president. It's also Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem, the CIA director, everybody. And then, so I walked in the Oval and, I know what this is. They're going to hotbox the speaker on Ukraine funding. That's what it was. This is probably third week of January. We sit down, we're in the midst of it, and the whole conversation, and I'm going, we don't need to have this conversation. The president reaches over just like this. We're sitting right next to the fireplace in the Oval, and he grabs my arm and he says, the speaker and I just need a couple minutes together. Would y'all just leave us alone? And I looked up on the faces of some of the staff standing around the wall, and they're like, oh, no, he did it. So he called it. He's the commander-in-chief. So everybody leaves, and he and I are standing awkwardly in the middle of the Oval Office right over the rug by that coffee table. And I said, Mr. President, thanks for the moments. This is very important. I got some big national security things I need to talk to you about that I've heard, and I think you know, and what do we do? But first, real quickly, Mr. President, can I ask you a question? I cannot answer this from my constituents in Louisiana. Sir, why did you pause LNG exports to Europe? Like, I don't understand, liquefied natural gas is in great demand by our allies. Why would you do that? Because you understand, we just talked about Ukraine. You understand you're fueling Vladimir Putin's war machine because they got to get their gas from him, And he looks at me, stunned with this, and he said, I didn't do that. And I said, Mr. President, yes, you did. It was an executive order, 3 weeks ago. And he goes, no, I didn't do that. And he's arguing with me. I said, Mr. President, respectfully, could I go out here and ask your secretary to print it out? We'll read it together. You definitely did that. And he goes, oh, you talk about natural gas. Yes, sir. He said, no, you misunderstand. He said, what I did is I signed this thing we're gonna conduct a study on the effects of LNG. I said, no, you're not, sir. You paused it. I know. I have the export terminals in my state. I talked to those people this morning. This is doing massive damage to our economy, national security. It occurred to me, Barry, he was not lying to me. He genuinely did not know what he had signed. And I walked out of that meeting with fear and loathing because I thought, we're in serious trouble. Who is running the country? I don't know who put the paper in front of him, but he didn't know.
Jeez. Good morning. I'm Austin Peterson. Welcome to the Wake Up America show. We're glad and thankful to have you here. If you haven't clicked the like button yet already, we'd love to have you be a supporter of the show, totally free. Click the like button. If today's your first time watching the Wake Up America show, the schedule is Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. We'd love to have you be a regular guest as well. Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. If you click the follow button underneath the video on Rumble, then you'll get a notification on your alerts whenever we go live. So click that follow button before you leave today. And if you'd like to contact me and talk to me directly, you can send me a text at 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. Send us a text message if you'd like to have your thoughts read into the air. One last time, 573-319-1586 is the text line. Help us to support the For Liberty Network and unlock today's bonus content. Every Rumble rant that you send in helps to unlock the bonus content. If we hit $75 raised by the end of the show, that will unlock today's bonus content, and you get to watch that instead of a commercial when John Miltimore comes on the show this morning at 8 a.m. Central to talk about the TikTok PSYOP. So if you want to unlock the bonus content, Rumble rants are a great way to do it. Unfortunately, if you're listening to us over on YouTube this morning, you're not allowed to make any kind of YouTube super chats or do any kind of financial support through YouTube because I am demonetized on YouTube for 3 months. Yes. So if you'd like to support the Wake Up America show, the best way to do so is to head to forlibertyshop.com. That's the number 4, libertyshop.com. And as you can see over there on the table, we've got all of our new delicious teas. The For Liberty over at forlibertyshop.com. If you go to forlibertyshop.com and you scroll down on the front page, you'll see the little box with the eagle sipping tea. I know a lot of people are big fans of drinking hot drinks that don't include caffeine, including some of our Mormon friends, right? With Stephanie, and on a side note, Stephanie and I were watching a really fascinating documentary the other day about what they call sodi culture out in Utah because the Mormons can't drink coffee. But they can drink soda, even though soda does contain caffeine, but they can't drink tea with caffeine because they're not supposed to drink hot drinks, but they can drink hot drinks if they don't drink caffeine. So they drink sodi pop. But if you're Stephanie and all of her phone calls trying to get people interested in our products and our network, she was finding out that a lot of people they don't love caffeine, which I really can't relate. I love caffeine. That's why I love to drink coffee every day. I'm drinking some founding flavors this morning. I'm actually drinking the holiday roasts, which I might still be there. Actually, I'm not sure how long they'll be there. But if you're not into caffeine, then we do have lots of herbal alternatives like the apple cider Eagle's Orchard. So check those out. And every purchase that you make at forlibertyshop.com helps to unlock the bonus content. That's the number 4, libertyshop.com. Go to forlibertyshop.com, buy yourself some delicious herbal tea, caffeinated coffee, or the shirt that you see me wearing today. This is the Gun Runnin' Shortstop, which I know people are big fans of. They've sold a lot of these. I just came up with this concept one day. I went into Adobe and I just grabbed every single icon that they had of every single machine gun you can imagine, and it's kind of shocking just how many guns and weapons there are on this shirt. You think, oh, it's probably just a rehash of the same guns over and over again, but it's actually it's quite extensive. The list of rare and interesting and curious, antique and modern rifles, machine guns, nuclear weapons, AK-47s. Tommy guns, truck-mounted technical weapons, fully automatic shotguns, MP40s, MP5s. It's deceptive because you'll see the same gun over and over and think, oh well, there's only 4 or 5 guns on there. But there are lots and lots of different unique firearms on there. And we have a whole collection of these, the Neon Machine Gun Collection. But this is the Gun Runnin' Shortstop shirt. Hope you like it. You can only get that at forlibertyshop.com. Help to unlock that bonus content today, guys, and support the For Liberty Network. We'll be very grateful. Speaking of the president not knowing what the hell's going on and not really being in charge of the country,
information for Trump to continue to say he won the
Are
2020
you,
election.
so what?
That's,
I mean, are you saying
Bakari's
that
point,
he can
that's a
alter
lie.
the past by saying
No,
what he
I'm
thinks?
giving you an example of what
Yeah.
we're talking about. And so when
I'm sorry, Bakari, your party just engaged in the biggest cover-up in modern American political history on Joe Biden. It's all coming out. We all now know that every Democrat knew it, and you and everybody else came on TV and lied about this man's condition. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Well, the
the Biden
unfortunate
cover-up
part-
is the worst thing
the
we've seen in this
unfortunate-
country in your or my lifetime.
First of all,
and political misinformation.
That is hyperbolic. And
It is not.
It's not only hyperbolic, but it's actually incorrect.
They said it's not only hyperbolic, but it's incorrect. Like you just heard from the Speaker of the House explaining what was going on.
And yes, I mean,
It's
I wish
incorrect.
I hadn't been around the president. I wish I would have known that he was not in the condition that
Do
he
you
was
not
in.
have a television and
But I
eyes and
didn't.
ears?
First of all, I didn't see it until the debate.
We
But
work
yes,
on TV. He's
but
on TV all the time.
But you also just want to sit here and say that is the biggest whatever of misinformation we've seen, the biggest cover-up, the most hyperbolic and sensationalized incident that we've had in American political history in you and our generation or lifetime. When you sat here on January 6th and did not believe that the person right there should be president of the United States or run again in his human lifetime.
It was a terrible day. It was a terrible
So
day.
we're going to...
Joni Rankin over the chat says, have that print in car seat covers. Well, Joni, you're in luck. We just so happen to have it. We do have that in car seat covers. Wait a minute. Let's see if I can actually pull it up for you. Since you asked, it was asked. So hold on. forlibertyshop.com. We pull up the shop. Let's type in car seat. And then let's see. We got Quackers and Packers. It is. There we go. See, we've got Quackers and Packers. That's ducks with machine guns. Armed and Comfy is the one you're looking for. We have the Don't Tread on Me Gadsden seat and the Join or Die Revolutionary War Flag car seat covers. So Joni wanted these in the Armed and Comfy car seat covers. Well, guess what, Joni? You've got them right there. So no excuse. You can unlock the bonus content, Joni, with one purchase over at forlibertyshop.com. Thank you to Robbie Thurman for the $10 donation.
Good morning, pineapple. Looking very good, very nice. Good morning, pineapple. Looking very good, very nice.
Oh, Joni Rankin says she already has them. Whoops. Yeah. Mind art. Will they fit a 4Runner? As long as they have like the bucket seats, kind of like a Jeep. If it's an extended seat, then no. If it's the straightforward bucket seats, then yes, it will fit them. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Joni. We appreciate that. Yeah, I don't remember. I'm going to play a clip from Saturday Night Live, guys. And listen, I don't want the people on YouTube to be upset with me. We don't have a whole lot of people over on YouTube, but I do care about you guys, and I want you guys to be able to watch the show. But here's the deal. I can't play certain things on YouTube, even if they fall under fair use, because they're just so takedown, and they're so censorious anyway. I'm not making any money on YouTube. I can't. I'm demonetized until March. So I feel bad that I have to tell you guys that I'm going to turn off the stream over on YouTube so I can play this Saturday Night Live clip, okay? If you'd like to watch the Wake Up America show and you're on any other platform, then you need to join us over at rumble.com/AP for Liberty. Now, I understand that, for whatever reasons, maybe, you don't want to use Rumble app. I get it. But them's the breaks, because every time I play a Saturday Night Live clip, even if it's under 10 or 15 seconds, a tiny portion, they just take the stream down, and the dispute process is arduous. And I'm not making any money on them anyway, so I'm just not going to be able to invest any time or energy in YouTube or have to deal with a takedown over there. So if you want to watch the Wake Up America show this morning and see some of these clips, then you need to join us at rumble.com/AP for Liberty. That's rumble.com/AP for Liberty. I'm about to turn off the stream over on YouTube. You'll only be able to watch the Wake Up America show for now. Hopefully I can turn it back. But for now, you'll only be able to see the Wake Up America show, not on X, not on Twitch, not on Kick. You'll only be able to see it on Rumble or Locals. So them's the breaks, and I will try and bring it back, but here's what it is. Rumble.com/AP for Liberty or forliberty.locals.com. Here we go. And
to these things. I'm not sure, like I said, I don't think today we're going to see this TikTok ban go forth. But the problem is, I really think Trump's one of the only people talking sense on this front. If you look, a lot of Republicans are right in the same boat with Democrats on this. They think TikTok needs to go. I'm not sure where they're coming from. If it's because, like I said, like some people, you got to protect the kids. Other people, they're looking internationally. Pro-Palestine content on TikTok was a huge problem for both Republicans and Democrats. You had, Mitt Romney and Tony Blinken talking about it at a conference saying, we just can't let these images, go out to people without context. Like, this is dangerous. It's dangerous to our republic. It's dangerous to our democracy. No, the U.S. government really should not be regulated. They don't get to choose what media we consume. But I think I'm in the minority in saying that. Whether I'm talking to Democrats or Republicans, a lot of people look at me like I have cauliflower growing out of my ears when I say, no, we shouldn't be trying to regulate this. And I go back, like the idea, the principle of limited government is really, if it's not dead, it's on life support in America.
Yeah. Now, yesterday I posted a poll on my X account asking, should TikTok have been banned? And I guess Tim Pool is really in favor of the TikTok ban, so he wasn't going to let me get away with just polling my own audience of libertarians, and he retweeted it, so it went viral. And it's only got 2 hours left on the poll, but it already has 9,757 votes, and the majority of respondents, 58.3%, say yes, TikTok should be banned, with a minority 41.7% voting no. Now, Tim has 2 million followers. I have 103,400 or so over on X, and so when he reposted it, that was it. We were going to get blasted by his people. So I do think, though, that perhaps even on the right, John, we are in the minority. So it's kind of fascinating because normally we're kind of like advocating. We're saying, we don't really want Donald Trump to enact tariffs. But now we find ourselves in a situation where we have to defend Donald Trump and say, actually, you guys, you MAGA guys are wrong and Donald Trump is right. And we need to listen to Donald on this one. It's so strange because, people will attack us, but it's like we're just being consistent. We were for liberty the whole time.
Exactly right, and it is encouraging to see Trump on this. Like let's not forget, he's been inconsistent on this. There was times where he was calling for a TikTok ban, as I recall. But the stage is set for a big Trump victory here, right? Like he can swoop in, he can be the reasonable guy in the room. Instead of, you have all these people out there, they just want to ban things. They just want to say like no, you can't have that. You can't
seed
have that.
oils.
Yep.
They want. Exactly. They don't want to ban the Big Macs. They just want to replace the Big Mac with like a different type of grease that will clog your arteries. I was looking at that. I was looking at the beef tallow, for example, that they're looking at replacing. They're replacing the seed oils with, right? Because now like the seed oils are the devil. But when I looked at the ingredients, some of these, the beef tallow they use, for example, I found out that Buffalo Wild Wings actually fries their chicken wings in beef tallow and their fries at Buffalo Wild Wings. But when I looked at the ingredients, it's got actually kind of a really sus looking preservative chemical in it. And it also is denatured. So they've removed a lot of the healthy things that the beef tallow contains. So just because you're going to get beef tallow, like you still have to like have the preservatives to get it there, which is going to add all these chemicals to it. And it's like, you're just replacing one form of evil with another. Maybe you shouldn't be eating beef tallow, and maybe you shouldn't be eating French fries and chicken wings every meal. Like maybe it's your eating habits that are the problem, not necessarily the ingredients.
Hey, that sounds common sense to me.
I don't know.
With all these things, I encourage people to think about it through the lens. Thomas Sowell has a great quote out there. And this applies to our conversation on TikTok. And people ask me, well, do you think TikTok is good? And I said, that's the wrong question. The question is not whether something is good. It's who gets to choose. And in this case, we got to let consumers choose. If they like using TikTok, that's up to them. If they like using Twitter, that's up to them. All these other arguments, we don't want the government to get to choose what media we consume, like what apps we get to use. Once you give the government that level of power, to me, that we've kind of crossed a Rubicon there. I don't want that. And you come up with all these national security, right? Like this is what we're being told. It's all about national security. Ask yourself, you can make anything about national security. Like there's really no power that the government doesn't get if you say, hey, it comes down to national security. It's the same thing, Biden did with U.S. Steel, right? Like he actually went and didn't have the power to regulate that, passed an executive order that said, no, he can nix deals now based on national security. And that's what they went to, kill that deal, that merger. And you can do that over and over and over again. National security is this massive umbrella that gives the government basically omnipotent power.
Absolutely. Now, I was talking about this story earlier, John. Let's bash the left for a little bit here. This is fun, so we don't lose the audience that we've built up. Looks like we got about 600 people watching us live over on Rumble. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Pineapples. If you're joining us over on the Rumble stream for the very first time today, I imagine many of you are. First time here, I'm Austin Peterson. I'm speaking to my friend John Miltimore. We're talking about the Trump inauguration, what to expect, talk a little bit about the TikTok ban. If today is the very first time that you've ever seen this show, we'd love to have you be a regular guest. John's a regular guest on Mondays, but the show is Mondays through Fridays, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time. So it's a 5-day-a-week morning news talk show, and we would love to be your destination listening. So after you click the like button over on the video, make sure that you click the follow button as well. If you click the follow button, you'll get notifications when we go live in the morning, which is like clockwork, Monday through Fridays, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time, right here at my Rumble channel, rumble.com/AP for Liberty. If you love economic freedom, personal liberty, if you love the United States, you are in the right place. We're talking about a new golden age, but maybe not a golden age for the things that so many are talking about in popular culture and in social media. The left is now more unpopular worldwide than any time since the Cold War. So listen to this, John. Lefty political parties across the world are now more unpopular than any time since the Cold War. The left suffered a record low average of just 45% of votes in dozens of ballots held globally last year, according to an analysis of 73 Democratic elections. In the U.S. and Western Europe, progressives were even more unpopular, with the left-leaning parties securing only 42% of their respective votes. What do you blame the collapse of the global left in democratic countries, John?
Oh, I think it's a hunger for power. If we look, these terms are always a little squishy, difficult to define. What is left, what is right? To me, left, basically, I look at it, and it's anti-capitalist to me, is basically the further left you are, the more anti-capitalist you are. And what you have now is the left that wants to choose for people. They want to choose what car you drive. They want to choose how you heat your home. They want to choose what apps you get to download and use on your phone. And it's not, again, it doesn't mean the left is the only one. You can find people on the right that want to do these things too. But when you substitute your own choice, or the government gets to choose for you, I think it pisses people off. And what they're doing is, we're seeing that they can't do these things well. If you look at like energy costs in Europe, like electricity has tripled. The price of electricity has tripled in the UK, and it's because of these policies. If you look at Germany, you have people that can't get their homes heated because of these bad energy policies. And around the globe, you look, issue after issue. Go north of us, go to Canada, where the left, Trudeau finally is getting the boot up there. The Canadian economy hasn't grown. It has not grown in the last 10 years. That's a big problem. You have Canadians, prices keep going up. Economy's really not growing. These issues, you have the masses that are angry about this, and they're figuring out, who's responsible for for these problems. And I do think the biggest one I haven't mentioned is, I think even the left is aware that of some of the problems they're causing, which is why they want to control speech. And if you look globally, there's this effort to control speech. And I think you have this mass movement that does understand, like, there's something wrong about this. Why do they get to decide what I get to say online? Why do we have police officers showing up to my door? Like we do, like the UK looks like communist China right now. You have people that put out a tweet or a Facebook post, and they have authorities coming to their door, putting them in handcuffs and things like this. I think it's gotten the attention of people. They don't like these big government policies, and I think that's really why the left is sort of in the dregs right now as far as popularity.
John, we've got a little bit of breaking news this morning. I hope you'll be able to react to. President Joe Biden has officially pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, and members of the House committee that investigated the January 6th attack on the Capitol, using the extraordinary powers of his office in his final hours to guard against potential revenge by the incoming Trump administration. Your thoughts?
Oh, this is disgraceful. I've been tweeting about it this morning. And the Biden administration was going to be the administration that came and cleaned this up, brought integrity back to the White House, we were told. And what we're seeing are these 11th-hour pardons, which is going to make all these people, unaccountable to the actions that they took during office. You don't pardon people, right? You do not pardon people if they didn't commit crimes, but that's exactly what we're seeing. And you can.
It's kind of an admission that they think that they did commit crimes.
Exactly right. And the press is saying, no, it's to protect them from Trump revenge. They're carrying their water. History will remember the Biden administration for its last official actions were to pardon all these political, some of them criminals, right? Like when you have a pandemic that killed millions of people, and you had the person that was the chief responder to that, and he gets a pardon going out the door. And we see all the things, that the U.S. government was funding, the research at Wuhan. People can connect the dots. This is going to go down in history as a totally disgraceful action by the Biden administration. An abuse of presidential power.
Yep, thank you very much. That's John Miltimore we're speaking to this morning on the Wake Up America show. Thoughts on Vivek Ramaswamy? There's been a lot of rumors swirling about Vivek. I've been a big fan of the guy. I know he's said done some dodgy things in the past, but he really does seem to kind of be on his road to Damascus when it comes to liberty. I saw him hugging Javier Milei yesterday, talking about Murray Rothbard to Milei, and it just makes me think that maybe this guy really is more of a threat than he really thinks, because he's been getting attacked so hard, not just from the left, but from the right as well. There's a real sincere danger that the Department of Government Efficiency might actually do something. It might actually cut one red cent, which is why I think so many of them, so many people seem to be attacking him. But now there's talk about him potentially running for governor of Ohio, which, to my understanding, my knowledge, that state doesn't exist. But I saw Siraj Hashmi over at Rumble was talking about how Vivek is being punished and being exiled to Ohio as punishment for his crimes. But your thoughts on the Vivek Ramaswamy, and then maybe finish it with an addendum on the Javier Milei factor in all this.
I think Vivek is great. He's a breath of fresh air, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not saying like he has on every issue. I think a couple of weeks ago we talked, I think he was a little culturally tone deaf when he started, going down this road about the
You don't attack Zach Morris.
Zach Morris, an American icon,
yeah,
right?
Despite the fact that he was a terrible person, but go ahead.
I think Vivek is doing great. I did see this rumor that he might run, for governor. He's gonna, wherever he goes, I think he's gonna be successful. I think he's got a long career in front of him. I would like to see him at Doge. I'd like to see him stay there. I think we need people like him that are serious about cutting government. My biggest fear is that this is sort of the track record of Republicans we've seen. They pay all this lip service about big government, what they're going to do to cut spending, and whenever they get power, we see, sometimes taxes go down, but guess what? Spending doesn't change, and sometimes we saw go back to 2016, the sequester, like all those cuts that we had with it, they went out the window shortly afterwards. So my fear is that we're going to see government spending continue to go up. But I hope with guys like Vivek there that we can kind of, curtail that and go the Javier Milei route, right? Milei gave us the playbook. Like, if you're going to come in and try to make change, and I don't mean just change as far as making the government work better, but even political change. Like Milei shows that you have to be true to your word. You have to go in and do what you said you were going to do. And I think that's why Milei is the most popular figure in the world, really. Like I saw a poll recently, I don't know if it's Cato or someone put out, close to 60%. I don't think they're counting North Korea in that poll and some of these others. But no, that is the playbook. Now, and if Republicans go in and we see business as usual, they don't make the cuts. In 2 years, they're gonna get their butts kicked.
Absolutely. Good stuff. This is John Miltimore we're speaking to. Whitey White 14, our resident white nationalist in the chat, says Ron Paul called them all out for not getting rid of the Department of Education like they promised, showed them all to be phonies and traitors. Yeah, not just like we want to talk about the Javier Milei factor, but what about the Ron Paul factor here? Department of Government Efficiency. I mean, if they pulled out Vivek Ramaswamy to run for Ohio, but they replace him with, I don't know, Ron Paul, I mean, quite a consolation prize, we might say. Ron Paul will get him, won't he, John?
Hey, Ron's getting up there, right? But I would still applaud that. How old is Ron Paul now? He's
oh my gosh, I don't know. He's like the Methuselah of liberty.
No, he really is. It's amazing to me how you see some of these older guys. I'm going to just make a plug here. Bob Uecker. I'm a baseball fan.
Oh yeah.
And Bob Uecker was a hero of mine. And I marveled. The guy's 92, 93 years old. He was still calling games and still sharp, still making jokes. And to me, like I don't expect to live as long as Uecker, but my God, if I can be, still sharp when I'm 90 years old and doing what I love, that's something everyone should aspire to. And I just wanted to give a plug to Bob Uecker, a guy that I think he did it right. He was just hilarious. He was self-deprecating, humble. And Americans lost a good guy last week.
No, for sure. Thank you for that nice little eulogy for Bob Uecker. I was a big baseball guy growing up in my youth, but I was actually a bigger fan of the Mr. Belvedere show.
I remember Mr. Belvedere. That was like, Thursday nights in our house. I can't remember. It was actually Thursday. It seems like it was. But we'd put on, my dad loved Mr. Belvedere. We'd all watch it. And it only had a few seasons, I think, but it was pretty funny.
I loved it. And I think I might still have the theme song memorized, but I won't torture the audience by playing for it here. John, whenever you come on the show, it's always great because you really are a rock for our principles and our ideas. I like to start the week with somebody like yourself who really is a deep thinker on these issues, who's really plugged in on what's going on, because it also just kind of helps me to like get a good compass reading for True North, for the principles of liberty. So I'm so grateful that you've been so generous with your time and helping us to grow the show and the For Liberty Network, man. You've been a good friend for a number of years, and we got a lot of respect for you. Is there anything else that you want to share with our audience or plug before we let you go?
Oh, thanks for those kind words, AP. It's always a pleasure being with you. And, for listeners, check out our content at aier.org. We have a sub-brand in the Daily Economy, and I'm editor over there. And check out my works on Substack. You can find me at The Take by John Miltimore.
There we go. John Miltimore, The Take. Take a bow, John. We'll see you next week.
There's my bow.
There you go.
See you next week, AP. Have a good one. See ya.
And then we watch the news or talk to my friends. They all have these conspiracy theories of what started these fires. Now, they say it's arsonists. I've heard this theory, and I'm sure there were some arsonists, but there were a lot of elements that came together to make this fire the catastrophe that it was. The winds were 100 miles an hour. L.A. was dry as a bone, and the levees, and there was just too many factors. If you were a rational thinking person, you have to at least consider the possibility that God hates these people. Sodomites. That's not true because West Hollywood was unscathed. Because how can you burn what is already flaming?
Good morning, everybody. Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, pineapples. Looking very good and very nice. Good morning, pineapple. Looking very good and very nice. Sending. When Rumble first started this platform way back in 2013, they built the platform for small creators like myself. And as you heard, some of the competitors to Rumble have decided to demonetize your boy for 3 months. When this happened to me, and it happened to me before, whenever you get demonetized on another social platform, which we shall not name, they take away your connection to your supporters. So many of you here are monthly supporters to me here via Rumble. You're a monthly subscriber, and for that, we thank you. Tosh.0. But when this happened to me before, when that website that we shall not name demonetized me, Rumble actually reached out to me personally and directly and said, we'd love to help you, help support your show. And it looks like they're still continuing to do so, because we must have gotten featured on the front page today, because look at us, 650 people watching the show right now. Thank you, Rumble. They don't censor me, they don't have biases, and they never felt a pressure from the Biden and Harris administration. So many other big tech platforms crack down on free speech, including that one that shall not be named that was suppressed for 12 hours, we shall say. I was completely banned from that platform. So if you're watching this show at rumble.com/AP for Liberty, we should say thank you. Thank you for supporting Rumble. And a lot of people actually do ask me, Austin, how I want to stream on Rumble. How do I get started? They ask for, what are the things that I can do to help support, get my show on the air? And I tell them, well, the number one thing you ought to do is do what I do. And that's to be a monthly supporter at rumble.com/premium. And that is a $10 a month donation to Rumble that goes directly to them. And it helps them to build up their servers, build up the company. And it also gets rid of advertising. I know a lot of people complain about that. And if you're like me and you're a streamer, there would normally be a big Rumble studio. There we go. So now my hands are big. There we go. Rumble Studio up there. It gets rid of that as well if you're a streamer like me. So if you want to support free speech, and you want to support a platform that supports people like me and doesn't suppress people like me, like some that which shall not be named, then go to rumble.com/premium. That's rumble.com/premium and use promo code studio. You'll get $10 off using that promo code. Rumble is the best right now, and we are grateful to them. Thank you very much. And Deirdre Doan joining us live over on the Wake Up America show just followed us. So yes, please do click the like button and the follow button as well. And we'll be very grateful. Bob Euchre had a foul mouth and was hilarious while on air using the cough button. Here's the 3-2 pitch cough button. Look at the bees on those broads. Release cough button, and it's called strike 3. Yes, he was very funny. I'm so grateful to have our friends Quest Fanning, Sign of Jonah, Luke Sacker, Whitey White 14, Joni Rankin, and so many others. Sign of Jonah, as well as so many others joining us live here on the Wake Up America show. Good morning, guys. We have not unlocked the bonus content. We have 30 minutes left to do so. I think we've raised about $20 towards the $75 goal, and I'm hoping that it doesn't become a trend that we don't unlock the bonus content. That would be very bad. Austin, how can we unlock the bonus content? It's easy. All you got to do is either drop a Rumble rant here, a donation in the live chat, and that will help to unlock the bonus content. But my favorite way to unlock the bonus content, guys, is to go to 4libertyshop.com. That's the number 4, libertyshop.com. Some people don't even know that we actually have our own merch store. And I have to constantly remind people we've got a great offering of patriotic merchandise, including our 4 Liberty patriotic premium tees that you can see on the table right there, sitting right next to me. My favorite, Boston Harbor Black. The brand new 4 Liberty collection is a listing of patriotic premium tees, steeped in patriotism, if you will. I don't know. I thought it was funny. Help to unlock the bonus content, guys. If you want to see a little mini documentary today about the outgoing Biden administration, go to 4libertyshop.com. Look at the 5-star reviews. Tea, Earl Grey, hot. Yes, we also have Earl Grey. We call it Grey's Revolt for Liberty. That's the number 4, libertyshop.com. You can also subscribe if you like the tea and get it every 2 weeks, a monthly, or every 2 months. It's up to you. Head to 4libertyshop.com and also sign up for the APDC Liberty Tour. May 1st through the 3rd, I will be taking you on a behind-the-scenes tour of Washington, D.C., including a congressional capitol tour. The tour is now 1/3 of the way booked up. So if you are planning on going to the tour, then you guys need to go ahead and get your tickets ASAP. We are offering a buy one, get one right now. So if you go to the tour-based package and you scroll down, you're going to see right here, our buy one, get one. You get one 50% off. So go to forlibertyshop.com, book your trip with me, Stephanie, Hazel, and all of our friends at forlibertyshop.com. That's the number, forlibertyshop.com. Helping Freedom says, the best thing about the shop is that it's super high quality. Thank you, sir. It is. We work really hard to get amazing, super high quality products for you guys. The coffee's delicious. The tea's delicious. We've got all kinds of other stuff, fun stuff like pillows in the shape of AR-15s and killdozers. For the ladies, we have Don't Tread on Me earrings, Donald Trump earrings. Those would be a good one to get today to celebrate for the inauguration today. Our number one product in the shop, the number one selling product in 2024 is our Jeffersonian Java. And when you see that price, don't forget we do offer discounts and also, guys, that includes shipping. So we are comparable to other premium coffees as well out there. Jeffersonian Java, light roast, tons of caffeine, absolutely delicious. Go unlock a box, grab a box at forlibertyshop.com and help us to unlock the bonus content. What do you say? Good morning, pineapples, looking very good and very nice. Good morning, pineapples, looking very good and very nice. So what are we going to see today?
You're going to see something tomorrow. You're going to see executive orders that are going to make you extremely happy. Lots of them.
Yes.
Lots of them. We have to set our country on the proper course. By the time the sun sets tomorrow evening, the invasion of our borders will have come to a halt, and all the illegal border trespassers will in some form or another be on their way back home. You're going to see something tomorrow. You're going to see...
Oh, yes. You'll love to see it. The dawn of a new golden age. Good morning, pineapples. Deirdre Doan says, wow, you pronounced my name right. I might have just mispronounced it on there on accident. Looking forward to learning from your station. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you. She says, San Diego is my city. After escaping Oregon to the great state of California, we are praying for a turnaround. Amen. Grace. We're with you. Deirdre Doan, joining us here on the Wake Up America show. I'll work on that one. Bitcoin at 107,000 this morning. Yes. Bucks Nasty says, it's difficult to get things sent right where I am, so here's a rant. Thank you, sir. And we just had some orders at forlibertyshop.com, so we did unlock that bonus content, you guys. I don't want to get to the end of the show and you don't get to see the beautiful bonus content that I've produced for you, so I'm going to play it for you now, and I'll be right back. We still got about 20 minutes to go to hang out. We got a lot of fun. Whoop, whoop. Big ups in the chat. Deirdre Jones, she's the mascot of the show today. We're glad she's here. Bucks Nasty hooking us up. Thank you, guys. We'll see you when we get back on the Wake Up America show. Don't go away. It's the For Liberty Network. Move.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? Osby's the one that performs for himself.
At about noon, just thought that I had to be in Compton soon. Before the day begins, before my mother starts bitching about my friends.
Yeah, interesting. Robbie George just booked his ticket with us in Washington, D.C. It's the AP D.C. Liberty Tour. Welcome to the Wake Up America show. I'm your host, Austin Peterson. I'm glad and thankful to have you here. Yeah, Snoop Dogg says, oh, who's going to be the first one? I can't say those words he used to describe the black people. Well, the Uncle Tom, I guess I can say. He described anybody who would perform for Donald Trump's inauguration in 2017. Oh, they're an Uncle Tom. I heard that the St. Louis-based rapper Nelly will be performing at the inauguration. Are you guys big Nelly fans? were some of Nelly's greatest hits. If you want to go and take a ride with me, you and Donald Trump go fly with me. Oh, why? Hey, must be the money. Or it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot, I want to take my clothes off. Welcome to the Wake Up America show. We're always having a good time here where we fight for the ideas of economic freedom, personal liberty, and the American way, baby. Truth, justice, and the American way. Click that like button, and if you haven't already, we'd love to earn your follow as well. If you're watching the Wake Up America show over on Rumble, like I can see so many of you are today, man, I love to see it. 500 people or so? It must be the meme coins, says Camellia. Hey, must be the meme coins. The hard R. Boy, you love to see it. So Donald Trump will be inaugurated today. Trump to rename the Gulf of Mexico and Mount Denali as part of his first day executive orders. You know what? I'm for it. I'm for it. You know, these are the kinds of executive orders that really don't bother me. And sometimes I get a little happy just because it's going to drive people nuts. And there's no real substantive changes to anything. It's more of an ethos. Donald Trump will order the renaming of the Gulf of Mexico and Alaska's Mount Denali in his first hours as the 47th president. This is hilarious. I'm not joking. This is serious. The Gulf of Mexico will be rechristened the Gulf of America, and Denali, the highest mountain in North America, will revert to Mount McKinley, which it was called in the sight of the U.S. government until Barack Obama changed the name in 2015. The renaming of the two natural features is to honor American greatness, according to a preview of the orders. So why is Donald Trump so interested in renaming Mount Denali back to Mount McKinley? Well, he's a huge President McKinley fan because President McKinley was known for his tariffs. So, yeah. Sign of Jonah reminds us, do you know why Trump is renaming it? He says to get around the law Biden passed against drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. What Gulf of Mexico? Brilliant! There is no Gulf of Mexico. It's the Gulf of America. Drill, baby, drill. I love it. National greatness. The federal government officially dubbed it Mount McKinley in 1917 in honor of the Republican president who had been assassinated 16 years earlier. Or had been assassinated in 16 years before 1917. McKinley was an inspiration for Trump, both in terms of his tariff policies and his expansion of U.S. territory in the Spanish-American War. McKinley was a very good, maybe great president, Trump said. They took his name off Mount McKinley, right? That's what they do to people. Now, he was a great president, a very good president. At a minimum, he was a very good businessman. He was a businessman, then a governor, very successful businessman, Trump says. President McKinley is honored for giving his life for our great nation and dutifully recognized for a historic legacy of protecting America's interest and generating enormous wealth for our nation. Those of you who do remember your history, remember that President McKinley was assassinated, I believe, by Charles Guiteau, if I remember my history right. Am I? Oh, God. Feeling quite brainy this morning. Mount McKinley. So this is very much, and of course, Donald Trump was almost assassinated, so he feels like he bears a strong kinship to the name. So Mount McKinley it is and forevermore shall be. Obama ordered Mount McKinley to be renamed Denali to honor the indigenous name of the mountain used by the Koyukon Athabascans, the original inhabitants of Alaska. The Alaska legislature had asked the federal government to change the name back in 1975. Trump had also discussed renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America in a press conference at Mar-a-Lago earlier this month, saying it has a beautiful ring. Completely agree. What a beautiful name, and it's appropriate. The president-elect clashed with Mexico throughout his first term and has threatened to impose high tariffs on the country, especially if it doesn't halt the flow of migrants across the border with the U.S., and Mexico is responding to these threats, saying that they will work with President Trump to try and attempt to halt the flow of migrants through their borders to the United States. Winning. The draft of the executive order praised the Gulf for being pivotal in its maritime industry and in its energy production, international commerce, tourism, fishing, and recreation. Trump, 78 years old, is expected to sign off on the orders in the president's room at the Capitol following his swearing in. He may also sign the orders at the White House following the inaugural parade. He's expected to sign nearly 200 executive actions by the end of his first day in office. I don't know. Or Mount Melania, says Frickety. Very good, yes. I don't know. I'm excited. What about you guys? Are you guys excited? Yes, somebody sent me in a nice little Bob Uecker clip this morning for us to go out in the last 10 minutes of the show. I'll go ahead and play it for you. Sure, why not?
Bob Uecker, by the way.
Oh, did you? Did you see that?
Yeah,
was he mad?
Whatever.
Was he really?
Was he?
What do you mean?
Last time I went on Letterman, I told a story about Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
And what did he say? Does he not remember it?
He said, no.
Was it a bad story?
The story is, all right.
Don't tell the story.
Don't like. I don't care. Bob Uecker's 90. I don't care if he's mad. I love Bob Uecker.
No, he wouldn't know it from this show.
How do you know Bob Uecker?
Well, that's part of the story.
Yeah, that's part of the story.
Norm did a commercial for light beer.
Okay.
So it was when we were doing the Norm show. So he invited Norm out to spring training in Phoenix, Arizona, and said, "Look, man, come the fuck out to Arizona, man." You know, he's a guy you hear on the TV.
Yeah, Bob Uecker.
Right, but he's so filthy when he talks. Every other word is fuck. It's unbelievable.
Right.
And he's one of the funniest guys I've ever met.
Right.
So Norm says to me, "Hey, man, let's go hang out with you," which was nice. So we go to Arizona. And it's the funniest 24-hour period I've ever spent. We played around the golf with Bob Uecker, and we sit in the booth to listen to him announce a Brewer Cub game. Okay?
Right.
Now, he had a cough button. You know, if you're going to cough, you hit the cough button and you're not on the air.
Sure.
So, from what I remember, Norm may me not remember this because he's friends with Bob Uecker. But anyway, Uecker would be announcing the baseball game.
Right.
And like a fucking jazz musician. It was
Sorry about the language, guys. I'm trying to find the mute button here.
He would hit the cough button and say something filthy about her, then go right back to announcing the game. It was like magic. So
unbelievable. You think that's a high risk thing to be doing? That's like walking the high wire.
He would say he would say shit like this. He'd go, here's the 2-2 pitch to Sosa, ground ball to shortstop. Look at the fucking tits on that whore. Over to first base, 2 down.
And he'd hit the button that quickly.
Yeah, and
so you must have been out of your mind, entertained. And now when you listen to him, you're wondering, like, during the spaces, what he's saying.
Howard, that's the story I told on Letterman. I cleaned it up.
Right.
And he started using like old guy words for the chicks. Like he'd go, fly ball to center field. God, I'd like to get with that trollop. That's the third out. so the other thing.
All right. That's enough. A lot of bad language there. That's a Howard Stern show. Sorry, guys. I try and keep it PG-13 on the Wake Up America show. The best I can. Hey, guys. Thanks so much for all your support this morning. Thanks for the purchases at ForLibertyShop.com. I'm so excited. We're going to see Robbie Theraman now on the APDC Liberty Tour. Robbie, it's going to be so much fun, brother. Now, here's the deal. For everybody who's already signed up for the trip, we created a Facebook group for everybody that's going so that we can all help coordinate everybody, our plans, and make sure that we're all on the same schedule and everything. I spoke to Congressman Dr. Bob Onder's office, and we are confirmed for a Capitol tour, but I need to get a final head count of everybody who's going as soon as possible. So if you are planning on going, guys, get your tickets. Go to ForLibertyShop.com. That's the number 4LibertyShop.com. We still have the buy one, get one sale going on right now. So if you want to get one ticket full price and then the second ticket half off, then you got to go over there soon and get your tickets, guys, because I need to start making plans and get everything set and squared away for the trip. So go to ForLibertyShop.com, book your APDC Liberty Tour. It's May 1st to the 3rd. We're going to have an absolute blast. If today was your first time watching the Wake Up America show, and I know many of you were watching us for the very first time, thank you to Rumble for featuring us today and getting us to be in front of all of these wonderful new names and faces. I really hope that today is not the first and last time that we get to hang out. I'd love to see you right back again here tomorrow morning. But I think that you'll probably forget if I don't remind you to click the follow button on the stream before you leave. So follow my channel at rumble.com/AP4Liberty so that you'll get an alert tomorrow morning, because it's a 5-day-a-week show and we love to hang out here every day. Don't we, guys? Don't we? Robbie, Whitey White, Steelbringer, Sign of Jonah, Luke Sacker, Amy J.E.'s, Joni Rankin, 551 people joining us live this morning. Don't you guys want to hang out again tomorrow morning? Good. Click the like button on the show, and then click the follow button, so that way you guys will get a notification, and we'll see you again right back again here tomorrow morning. When the show's over, we exit. We say exit through the Grift Shop, so you'll exit through 4libertyshop.com. That's the number 4libertyshop.com. You exit through the Grift Shop. And I would be remiss if I didn't remind you about the incoming president's social network. If you're looking for a great place for online news, discussion, and entertainment, check out Truth Social, Donald Trump's social media website. I'm AP for Liberty over there as well. If you want to see Trump's legendary Truth Social posts before they get out onto other platforms, join Truth Social today. It's a free speech platform designed to avoid censorship and cancellation by big tech. Make your voice heard. Join the movement. Join Truth Social. You can see that QR code on the screen for that. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. Can't wait to see you right back again here tomorrow on the Wake Up America show on the 4 Liberty Network. Bye, guys.
The hazardous materials while serving in the military.
Tired of spending your hard-earned money on woke corporations that don't share your pro-freedom values? Fed up with sipping liberal lattes and progressive cappuccinos? Introducing Founding Flavors from AP for Liberty Shop. Get your day started with Washington's Revolutionary Roast. As robust and principled as the man himself, this blend is the shot of energy heard round the world. Or maybe you want to taste the fervor of freedom with Adams's Patriotic Perk. It's as dynamic and balanced as the U.S. Constitution, sure to awaken your spirit of liberty. For the aficionados, we've got the Jeffersonian Java, a complex mix of flavors that speaks volumes about your refined tastes. And don't forget Betsy's Liberty Lullaby, our decaf option, crafted with the same care and dedication Betsy Ross put into our Star-Spangled Banner. This blend lets you enjoy the taste of freedom anytime without losing sleep. No woke beans here, folks. Just pure, patriotic, pro-freedom flavors brewed with love for liberty. So why compromise your principles for a cup of coffee? Stand up for your values, perk up your patriotism, and start your day the American way. Get your founding flavors at AP4LibertyShop.com.